Have you ever felt like you're in a dry, desolate land, thirsty for something more, something fulfilling? Picture King David, isolated in the wilderness of Judah, yearning for a connection, a solace that transcends the physical realm. This is not merely a thirst for water, but a profound spiritual longing, a craving for the divine presence of God. There's an intensity to David's yearning, one that can be likened to a traveler lost in a desert, parched and desperate for a cool, refreshing drink. His soul, his very being, longs for God, as if in a land arid and barren where no water exists. Not a moment is wasted in his pursuit. He seeks God early at the break of dawn, embodying a commitment we often struggle to maintain. Just as a parched traveler seeks water, so did David seek God, longing to witness his power and glory. Ever pondered on the concept of divine love being superior to life itself? This was the profound realization of David, a man who experienced the wilderness, both literally and metaphorically. He understood that God's love was not just a fleeting feeling, but an enduring presence, a love that was more valuable than life itself. David, in his solitude, found a sanctuary in God's presence. He saw God's power and glory, not in the grandeur of a palace, but in the quiet of the wilderness. The experience was so profound that he pledged to bless God all his life, lifting up his hands in reverence and worship. His soul, once parched like a desert, found an oasis in God's love. It was filled with a satisfaction so deep, it was likened to a feast of marrow and fatness. His joy overflowed, and his lips could not help but express that joy in praises. To David, God's love was a feast satisfying his soul, and in response, his lips overflowed with praises. Imagine finding comfort in the darkest hours of the night. Can you? This was the very solace David found in his relationship with God. In the stillness of the night, when the world seemed silent and solitude was his only companion, David would meditate on God's love and protection. He found joy under the shadow of God's wings, a vivid imagery that signifies refuge and safety. It's as if he was nestled under a strong, protective wing, shielded from the harsh realities of life. David's connection with God was so profound and intimate that he described his soul as following close behind God. It's a picture of a child closely following a parent, trusting in their guidance and protection. And this trust was not unfounded. David was confident in God's support, knowing that God's right hand would uphold him, even in the most challenging circumstances. In the silent watches of the night, David found solace in God's protective presence. Ever wondered about the fate of truth and lies? Picture King David in the wilderness, drawing on his faith to make sense of the world around him. He envisioned a future where the deceptive, those who sought to destroy him, would meet their downfall. He saw them descending into the depths, becoming mere prey for jackals. A stark end for those who chose falsehood over truth. But David's prophetic vision wasn't all doom and gloom. He also saw a future of triumph, a triumph for those who trust in God, who swear by his name. These faithful ones, he saw them rejoicing, basking in the glory of God's truth. They stood firm, upheld by God's right hand, their mouths filled with joyful praise. This is the justice of God as seen by David, a divine balance where lies are silenced and truth is exalted. In the end, David saw a future where truth triumphs over lies, where those who rejoice in God find glory.